Piotr, thanks for joining us here at LSI Europe.
So happy to be here.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about what you're doing at MIM Solutions. How are you guys unique in this emerging field of fertility AI?
Okay, so we are a company based in Warsaw. We are doing machine learning for IVF clinics. We've got solutions which will help couple to achieve their great dream for having a baby.
That's incredible. So how are you using artificial intelligence to help couples that have fertility disorders?
Okay, so this is just great place to be for a mathematician. IVF, the whole process is extremely complex. There are many stages, and although it's one of the greatest achievements of our times, it's still unfortunately not as efficient as we would like to. And our main goal is we were able to identify this very important changes in IVF and automatize them with AI. And to be more specific, we are automatizing ultrasound examination. So, this is one of the most important examination you do during IVF. Basically, if you want to do the treatment, you need to visit the clinic at least 6 times during a month. And majority of these visits are for ultrasound examination. We want to make this patient journey much more easier by automating this part.
So tell me, what makes you guys different from the competition in this emerging field of fertility AI?
Okay, thank you for this question. I believe in medicine it's all about trust. So you need to trust that this algorithm really does what it's meant to be. And I think this is what distinguishes us. So we are still strongly connected with academic world. So myself, I work at the university. So we still do the basic research concerning trustworthy interpretability of the algorithms. So if you run these algorithms 2 times on the very similar data, you expect similar results. Unfortunately, it's not always the case. So I think this is what really distinguishes us from the competition. So we've got in our team the best Polish scientists award, for example, in computer science. Extremely strong and talented team. So
that's great to hear. It's really important to build a strong team when you're a startup. Why don't you tell me a little bit about how big the opportunity is for this technology that you're building?
Opportunity is huge. So there are 300 million people who struggle with fertility disorders. So it's, this is 1 out of 6 couples, they struggle to conceive a child. So it's very serious problem. And the availability of this kind of services is unfortunately very low. So there are states in the United States without single IVF clinic, for example. So there is a huge market gap, and the greatest reasons behind us is still the quality, the cost of this whole procedure. And our main goal is to improve that.
That's great. Tell me, what's the success rate look like for IVF without AI versus with your technology?
Okay, so I believe the main problem over here is actually the standardization and repeatability. So there are clinics, for example, for donoring, they've got 10% success rate, and some of them, they've got 80% success rates. So you've got these huge differences because of lack of standardization and this heterogeneity of the whole process overall. The average success rate is around 30%, and for the best clinics, it's around 50-60%. So our goal is to make every clinic be able to achieve this high efficiency rate.
What stage are you guys at right now? Are you using your AI technology in clinics today, or are you still clinical? Tell me a bit about where you guys are at.
Right now testing our solutions. So we are after validation. We are not just jumping into the clinical tests to confirm our value.
That's great. You know, I realize that ultrasound technology is starting to come into the patient's home. You're seeing ultrasound devices that can be run off of smartphones. They're making them smaller and more accessible, democratizing ultrasound really. What opportunity does this create to bring the IVF clinic into the patient's home with a technology like yours?
This is most definitely the next steps, and we believe this is the future emerging right now. So our first step would be to move this examination from clinic to any gynecological office, and the next step would be to bring it to home. There are already pretty cheap devices. It's just a matter of time to integrate.
Ula,
Okay. Yeah.
we spoke with Piotr a bit about the technology that you're developing over at MIM Solutions. At the end of the day, what's really the mission or purpose that's driving your company?
Okay. I like the question very much. I like to talk about our mission. It's actually pretty straightforward. We want to help people that are struggling with fertility disorders. We want to bring hope to patients that are fighting or are having or have to undergo through this IVF procedure, which is not, to be honest, it's not a very pleasant thing to do. It's very it's emotionally stressful. It's costly. It's a burden for a couple that has to undergo this procedure. And what we want to do at MIM Solutions is that we want to, first of all, make it the IVF procedure more affordable for couples. We want to make it more accessible. We want to lower the cost, increase the IVF procedure, the success rate, most of all, because sometimes, you just go to IVF clinic and you hear we have like 5% of getting a baby, of getting a healthy pregnancy, which is kind of, stressful and might be very depressing. I was patient myself for 6 years. I was fighting for my kids. It's a happy end story, but I know I've been there. I know the feeling, and you believe it or not, people, I think the couples sometimes would do anything to have the full family. So our mission is to help, first of all, the patients, but we've understood that with AI, we can help the clinicians that will afterwards, right, through their job or increasing their quality of healthcare, they will bring it to the patient. And so actually our end customer is a patient, what we are really thinking about. But we work with clinics. We work with clinics from Poland, from Malaysia, from Turkey, and we want to expand our collaboration. And I think we are pretty on the good way to do this, and we are pretty successful. And so this is more or less the mission.
So tell me, what brings you to LSI Europe?
Well, first of all, it's a summit that brings investors, strategists, and innovators together. So we, as we are innovators, we thought it could be a great opportunity to meet, first of all, other companies, other startups like ours. We could just exchange our knowledge about how it works, how in Europe the innovation deployment works for us, and secondly, we are looking for an investor from the industry. It would be just perfect scenario for us to have an investor from IVF industry or someone from fertility market, and as we want to deploy our solutions worldwide, I guess we need support as well, and some kind of a launch pad that would enable us to do that. So. This is why actually we came to LSI, and we love it. We met some very interesting people, investors as well. We had very good talks. We also bring home, so to say, lessons learned from good questions that probably we have to work through another day in Warsaw. But yeah, it was a very good experience, so we liked it.
Absolutely. I know that startups learn a lot from meeting and getting those one-on-one meetings with investors. They provide you guys with valuable guidance. So I hope at the minimum, you walk away with that. But at the maximum, I hope you guys find the partners and investors that you're looking for.
Definitely. Yes.
Well,
Let's keep the fingers crossed for us.
Ula, thank you so much for letting us know what you guys are up to at MIM Solutions. I look forward to hearing more the next time we meet.
Okay, thank you very much for talking to you.